Chief. You okay? You playing corpse or you putting the blinds on the dusties? I thought you were a deader for sure.
Okay, before I respond to that, let me welcome everyone back. My name is Eltimar, and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Planescape Torment. Where we left off last time, we just created our character and jumped into the game. This is the very first interaction of the entire game, so we're going to get started on that right away. One thing I wanted to mention before we get started is that I was trying to figure out how to make this series a little bit different from some of the other ones, just in terms of organization. So I've decided that each video is going to be the entirety of an area, so that means some of the videos are going to be very long, some of them will be very short. I think this will bring a sort of cohesiveness to each video that it might be lacking in some of my other videos, so that's the way we're going to do it, or we'll try it out at least. If there is a rallying cry against that, then maybe not, but for now we're going to give that a shot. So, we are talking to Mort. Who? Who are you? Who am I? How about you start? Who are you? I don't know. I can't remember. You can't remember your name? Huh. Well, next time you spend a night trapped in this burg, go easy on the bub. My name's Mort, and I'm trapped in here too. Trapped? Yeah, since you haven't had time to get your legs yet, here's the chant. I tried all the doors, and this room is locked tighter than a chastity belt. We're locked in where? What is this place? It's called a mortuary. It's a big black structure with all the architectural charm of a pregnant spider. The mortuary? What am I, dead? Not from where I'm standing. You got scars aplenty, though. Looks like some Burke painted you with a knife. All the more reason to give this place the laugh before whoever carved you up comes back to finish the job. Scars? How bad are they? Well, the carvings on your chest aren't too bad, but the ones on your back, Mort pauses. Say, it looks like you got a whole tattoo gallery on your back, Chief. Spells out some. Tattoos on my back? What do they say? Heh. Looks like you come with directions. Mort clears his throat. Let's see. It starts with, I know you feel like you've been drinking a few kegs of Six Watch, but you need to center yourself. Among your possessions is a journal that'll shed some light on the dark of the matter. Farad can fill you in on all the rest of the chant, if he's not in the dead book already. Farad? Does it say anything else? Yeah, there's a bit more. Let's see. It goes on. Do not lose the journal, or we'll end up in the sticks again. And whatever you do not tell anyone who you are or what happens to you, or they'll put you on a quick pilgrimage to the crematorium. Do what I tell you, read the journal, then find Farad. No wonder my back hurts. There's a damn novel written there. As for that journal, I'm supposed to have it with me. Was there one with me when I was lying there? No. You were stripped to the skins when you arrived here. Besides, looks like you got enough of a journal penned on your body. What about Farad? Do you know him? Nobody I know. But then again, I don't know many people. Still, some Burke's gotta know where to find Farad. Once we get out of here, that is. How do we get out of here? Well, all the doors are locked, so we'll need the key. Chances are one of the walking corpses in the room has it. Walking corpses? Yeah, the mortuary keepers use the dead bodies as cheap labor. The corpses are dumb as stones, but they're harmless and won't attack you unless you attack first. Is there some other way? I don't want to kill them just for a key, which I don't. What? You think it's going to hurt their feelings? They're dead. But if you want a bright side to this, if you kill them, at least they'll have a rest before the keepers raise them to work again. Well, alright, I'll take one of them down and get the key. Well, before you do that, arm yourself. I think there's a scalpel on one of the shelves here. Search the shelves in the room for a weapon to attack the zombies with. When you find one, go to the inventory screen, the backpack button in the lower right, and arm yourself. If you wish to examine any items you find, right-click on them in the inventory screen. Alright, I'll look for one. One last thing. These corpses are slow as molasses, but getting punched by one of them is like being kissed by a battering ram. If they start getting an edge on you, remember you can run, and they can't. Use it to keep some distance if you need to recover. I should probably put auto run on. That's a good idea. I'll do that right away. Thanks for the advice. Alright, let's go do that. Gameplay options? Always run. Perfect. It has been a long time since I played this game. Alright. Is there a button that highlights things? There is not. So, we're going to be very diligent. The slab is covered with dry blood and other remains. Gruesome.
I'm gone. Done.
The resolution is so low, but that's okay. This game is actually one of the most amazing games I've ever played in my life.
Alright.
So, we have a scalpel, and now we're in conversation again. Alright, you found the scalpel. Now go get those corpses, and don't worry. I'll stay back and provide valuable tactical advice. Maybe you could help me, Mort. I will be helping you. Good advice is hard to come by. I meant help in attacking the corpse. Me? I'm a romantic, not a soldier. I'll just get in the way. When I attack this corpse, you better be right there with me, or you'll be the next thing I plunge the scalpel in. Yeah, alright, I'll help you. I'm glad we understand each other. Time to introduce those corpses to the second death then. Let's go. So, I gotta stop right-clicking. That's important.
Done.
Let's see if we can talk to them first. The shambling corpse looks like it has been dead for several years. The skin along its forehead is peeled back, revealing its chalk white skull. Someone has chiseled the number 569 into the exposed bone. Looking for a key. Well, let's just examine the corpse. Examine the corpse to see if it's carrying a key. The corpse doesn't appear to be carrying a key, and it doesn't look like it would be able to use one if it did. Its hammers are broken, as if someone smashed them with a hammer. You do happen to notice that its left shoulder is heavily bandaged. The bandages might be usable if the corpse was disposed of first. It was great talking to you. Farewell. So we're going to kill it, actually. We're going to right-click, and we're going to hit attack. And then we're going to go.
Alright.
Boom, dead. We got some bandages
gone.
out of it. Can't go wrong with that.
I'm gone.
We're going to loot this container.
Done.
Which has nothing in it, which is disappointing, but not unexpected. Next zombie worker. We're going to examine. This one's 825. This corpse's head lolls back and forth on his shoulders. Judging from the angle of the neck, it looks like this man may have been hanged. The number 825 has been painted on the side of his head. Let's examine it to see if it is carrying a key. This corpse is carrying nothing, but you happen to notice its hands are heavily bandaged. The bandages might be usable if the corpse is disposed of first. Alright. Can I just use attack? Right. A is also attack.
Damn it.
I'm also punching. I should probably put my scalpel on.
Alright.
I just realized this. Because I was going to do that, and I got distracted by Mort and his incessant babbling. This corpse stops and stares blankly at you as you approach. The number 782 is carved into his forehead, and his lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. Let's examine the body. This corpse looks like it is the one with the key. It is holding it tightly in its left hand, his thumb and forefinger locked around it in a death grip. Looks like you'll need to hack the corpse's hand off to get the key. I need that key, corpse. Looks like you're not long for this world. Oh god. Mort, go help. Our character is a lover, not a fighter. And by that I mean talker, not a fighter.
I'm gone.
So, that is pretty well all we have to do in this room. We're gonna go out.
Alright.
We'll use the key to get out of this room. And I think I'm gonna turn down the volume on the... Oh, hang on one sec. Psst, some advice, Chief. I'd keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary, especially the femmes. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here. I don't think you mentioned it before. Who are the caretakers? They call themselves the Dustmen. You can't miss them. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. They're an adult bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everybody should die sooner, rather better than later. I'm confused. Why do these Dustmen care if I escape? Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everyone's gotta die sooner, better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it? Sorry, I gotta do my voice. Before you said something about making sure I didn't kill any female corpses. Why? What, are you serious? Look, Chief, these dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bashers like us. We need to be chivalrous, no hacking them up for keys or lopping their limbs off, things like that. Last chance? What are you talking about? Chief, they're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going? You can't be serious. Chief, we already got an opening line with these limping ladies. We've all died at least once. We'll have something to talk about. They'll appreciate men with our kind of death experience. Wait, didn't you say before that I'm not dead? Well, alright, you might not be dead, but I am. And from where I'm standing, I wouldn't mind sharing a coffin with some of the fine, sinewy cadavers I see here. Moore starts clacking his teeth as if in anticipation. Of course, the caretakers would have to part with them first, and that's not likely. Alright, I'll try to remember that. Look, Chief, it's obvious you're still a little addled after your kiss with death, so I got 2 bits of advice for you. 1, if you got questions, ask me, alright? Alright, if I have any questions, I'll ask you. 2nd, if you're half as forgetful as you seem to be, start writing stuff down. Whenever you come across something that might be important, jot it down so you don't forget. If I had that journal I was supposed to have with me, I'd do that. Start a new one then, Chief. No loss. There's plenty of parchment and ink around here to last you. Alright, it couldn't hurt. I'll make a new one then. Use it to keep track of your movements. If you ever start to get cloudy on important things like who you are, or more importantly, who I am, use it to refresh your memory. Alright, I got it. Let's go.
Updated my journal.
I will be reading the journal entries, so let's take a quick look. Oh my god, it's a long one. Here we go. Day 1. My original journal's gone, missing, so I've started a new one. I woke up in a place called the Mortuary. I don't know who I am, what I'm doing here, or even how I got here. The only person I encountered was a chattering skull called Mort. While he was checking my wounds, he discovered a set of directions tattooed on my back. And it's just the thing we've already read, so we're not going to read that again. Did I leave this message for myself? Looks like I'll need to find this Farad and my journal.
I'm gone.
Alright, we're going to go look around at some bodies just to see what's going on here. This is a zombie 594. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. Her skin is paper thin, almost wispy. It's like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. Ew. The number 594 has been scratched into her forehead with a charcoal pencil. So, doing anything later? The corpse continues to stare at you. Farewell then. Psst, you see the way she was looking at me? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone? You mean that blank-eyed beyond the grave stare? What, are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless, the way she wanted me. I think you're imagining things. She's a zombie, a corpse, a dead person. You probably didn't even register to her senses. Yeah, whatever. When you've been dead as long as I have, you know the signals. They may be too subtle for you to pick up on, but that's... well, I'll be spending mine. But that's why I'll be spending my nights with some luscious, recently dead chick while you're standing around going, huh? I think that's supposed to be why. What? What's going on? Where's my mama? Memories. Whatever, Mort. Let's go.
I'm gone.
Screw you, Mort. The left side of this woman's face looks like it was caved in with a club, and her flesh sags in bruised, swollen clumps over her ruined skull. The number 626 has been stitched onto the corpse's right cheek, just below the eye. Nasty wound you got there. The corpse continues to stare at you with his one good eye. Creepy. And the last zombie. This corpse is lumbering along a triangular path. Once it reaches the corners of the triangle, it pauses, then turns, staggers towards the next corner. It has 965 tattooed on the side of its skull. As you approach, it halts and stares at you. Heh, looks like someone forgot to tell this saw to stop walking the rule of 3. What do you mean? The corpses don't have much left in the attic, so they can't do more than one task at a time. When they're told to do something, they'll keep doing it until someone tells them to stop. This poor sod probably finished some task, and they forgot to tell him. You said something about the rule of 3. What did you mean by that?
Updated my journal.
Well, the rule of 3 is one of those laws about the planes, about things tending to happen in threes, or everything is composed of 3 parts, or there's always 3 choices, so on and so forth. You don't sound like you have much faith in it. It's a little wash if you ask me. If you look for a number, any number, and try to attach some great meaning to it, you're going to find plenty of coincidences. I see. Before you said someone put this corpse to a task, and then forgot to tell him to stop. Who gives these orders? Or who gives these corpses the task to do? Either one of the caretakers here, or else whatever necromancer raised him out of the dead book. Probably one of the caretakers here. They're the ones who need the cheap labor, after all. No way to do the rule 3. Understood. I wanted to examine this zombie a bit more. This corpse is lumbering along a triangle. Oh, we already did that. So, why are you walking in a triangle? And it stares at us blankly. Obviously, it has really nothing to say to us. And so we will move on.
All right. I'm gone.
This corpse is shuffling from slab to slab, bandaging the corpses lying there. The number 396 is carved into his left temple, and his lips are stitched closed. You notice the corpse is carrying a roll of bandages in his hand. The bandages still look usable. Mind if I borrow those bandages? The corpse continues to stare at you. I'll try and take the bandages from the zombie. You stake your hand out and take the roll of bandages from the corpse's hand. The corpse doesn't even seem to notice. It continues going through the motions of bandaging the bodies. Alright, thank you for the bandages, sir. Anything to loot? A logbook. And... nothing.
Right.
We'll talk to him in a second. The female corpse is making the rounds from slab to slab in the room. Her hair is knotted in a long braid and looped around her neck like a noose. Someone has stenciled the number 1096 onto her forehead, and her lips have been stitched closed. Nice braid. The corpse does not respond. You don't even know you're here. Okay.
Done.
I tried. The number 1201 has been inked into the forehead of this corpse, and the ink has run down its eyes, cheeks, and jaw. As you follow the ink tears down the corpse's face, you notice It has run into the stitching, sealing the corpse's lips, and has caught on what looks like the corner of a note stuck in the corpse's mouth. I'm going to try and pull the note out. The note has mingled with the ichor in the zombie's mouth. If you tried to pull the paper through the cross stitches, it would tear the paper to shreds. Hacking up the corpse to get at it looks like it will destroy the zombie. You'll need to find a delicate way to remove the stitches. Before removing the note, I will use the scalpel to cut through the stitches. You deftly slice through the stitches, sealing the corpse's mouth, and the jaw sags open. You carefully pull the note from the corpse's mouth. Despite the condition of the paper, the writing on it still appears legible. And that's going to be what we're going to do next. So there is a note from Corpse 1201. This is a foul-smelling note retrieved from the mouth of one of the mortuary zombies. It looks like it was sewn into the corpse's mouth by accident. Despite its condition, the writing is legible. Please, to whatever dustman reads this, I beg of you, I know of my legal obligation under the terms of the dead contract, but I am prepared to offer more than my signing fee if you will cremate my body rather than raising it. I have arranged for this note to be left with my body upon my death. If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my contracted duty. Let my contract number serve as the key. It looks like the corpse was too late to prevent the raising, but you notice that beneath the writing is a diagram. It looks like directions for folding the parchment into a strange pattern. And we're going to use it. So I vaguely remember how to do this. I think it's upper right. Upper right. Lower right? Upper left, lower left. Nope. Okay, we gotta do it again. Maybe it's upper right, lower right? 1, 2. No, that's not it. Unfold the note and start again. It is, God, what was it? Upper left? I thought it was upper left, lower right. Is it upper, upper, lower, lower? It's been a long time since I've done this. Okay. Upper right. Lower right. Upper left. Upper right. Open the sides of the pyramid. There we go. Okay. And we're going to take the triangle earring. That's what it was. It's been a very long time since I've done this. It doesn't identify. We don't know how to identify it yet, so we're not going to worry too much about that. We got some more experience, though.
Gone.
It's always good. Let's talk to the zombie worker here. The smell of formaldehyde emanating from this corpse is particularly strong. It smells like it was applied recently, and with good reason. The corpse appears to be in an advanced state of decay. Her jaw is missing, and some of the flesh has slid off her skull, revealing the number 1072 chiseled into the bone. I think this one's seen better days. The corpse does not respond to your voice. The fact that it has no jaw may have something to do with it. Either that, or it simply has nothing to say. Farewell, then. We're going to check the... I honestly don't remember if there's anything in here. I don't think so.
I'm gone.
We're gonna go talk to Doll next, though. That door is locked and
Alright.
shut. Oh, there's one more zombie. This walking corpse has the numbers 1094 carved into its forehead. Its mouth has been sewn tightly shut, and the chemical reek of fresh formaldehyde hangs in an overpowering cloud around it. Despite the pallid, sunken features and lifeless, milky eyes, it is clear this was once a handsome young man. So, seen anything interesting going on? Nothing happened. So, we're going to leave it in peace. Let's go talk to Doll really quickly. This scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. You can see his beard. It's like, meow. It might even be that part. It goes way down to the floor. Greetings. Whoa, Chief, what are you doing? I was going to speak with this scribe. He may know something about how I got here. Look, rattling your bone box with a dusty should be the last thing. Before Mort can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down, and the scribe's breathing returns to its ragged wheeze. And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place the laugh, the better. Before Mort can finish, the scribe's gray eyes flicker to you. The weight of the years hangs heavily upon me, restless one. He places down his quill, but but I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. Restless one, do you know me? Know you? Aye. There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one, no more than you have known yourself. He is silent for a moment, for you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? As always, the question, and the wrong question, as always. He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him to a bout of coughing. I, he pauses for a moment, catches his breath. I am Dahl. Perhaps you can answer some questions for me, Dahl.
Updated my journal.
Very well. What did you wish to know? What is this place? You are in the mortuary, restless one. Again, you have come. Before he can finish, Dahl breaks into a fit of coughing. After a moment, he calms himself and his breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. This is the waiting room for those about to depart the shadow of this life. Tell me about the mortuary. This is where the dead are brought to be interred or cremated. It is our responsibility as dustmen to care for the dead, those who have left the shadow of life and walk the path to true death. Dahl's voice dropped in concern. Your wounds must have exacted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home. The shadow of life? Yes, a shadow. You see, restless one, this life, it is not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows, flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die, and here we remain, trapped, caged, until we can achieve the true death. What is the true death? True death is non-existence, a state devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion. Dahl coughs and gives a ragged breath, a state of purity. Sounds like oblivion. Why would anybody want that? It is not worse than remaining in the shadow. Is it not worse than remaining in the shadow of life, of what life once was? Holy crap, I can't read today. I think not. Shadow of life? Oh, we already did that one. What makes you think this life isn't real? What makes you think this life is real? Look inside yourself. Do you not feel something lacking? Dahl shakes his head. This is a purgatory. There is only sorrow here, misery, torment. These are not the elements that make up life. They are part of the cage that traps us in the shadow. I think your fatalism has gotten the better of you. Those elements are part of life, but not the whole of it. Dahl shakes his head. Passions carry weight. They anchor many to the shadow of life. As long as one clings to emotion, they will be continually reborn into this life, forever suffering, never knowing the purity of true death. I had some other questions then. Do you know who I am?
Updated my journal.
I know scant a little of you, restless one. I know little more of those who have journeyed with you and who now lie in our keeping. Dahl sighs. I ask that you no longer ask others to join with you, restless one. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. There are others who have journeyed with me, and they are here.
Updated my journal.
Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought that she had traveled with you in the past. Dahl looks like he's about to start coughing again, then catches his breath. Am I mistaken? Where is her body? The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the biers there. Her name should be on one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory. I do not know. I don't recall ever traveling with a woman. Dahl makes no response to this. He simply stares at you in silence. Before you said there were others interred here who journeyed with me. Where are they? Doubtless there are, but I know not their names, nor where they lie. One such as you has left a path many have walked, and few have survived. Dahl gestures around you. All dead come here. Some must have traveled with you once. I find no fault with your reasoning. I had some other questions. You sound ill. Are you not well? I am close now to the true death, restless one. It will not be long before I pass beyond the eternal boundary and find the peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere. Dahl gives a ragged sigh. The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I. Are you certain? There may be some way I could help you. I do not wish to live forever, nor live again, restless one. I could not bear it. Very well, I have some other questions. How did I get here? Dahl snorts in contempt, as if he finds the memory repugnant. Your moldy chariot ferried you to the mortuary, restless one. You would think that you were royalty based on the number of loyal subjects that lay stinking and festering upon the court that carried you. I arrived here on a cart.
Updated my journal.
Yes, your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses. Dahl breaks into another violent fit of coughing, finally catching his breath minutes later. Your seneschal Farad was, as always, pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gate. Who is this Farad? He is a collector of the dead. Dahl draws a ragged breath, then continues. We have such people in our city that scavenge the bodies of those who have walked the path of true death and bring them to us so that they may be interred properly. Where can I find this Farad? If events persist as they have, Restless One, you have a much greater chance of Farad finding you and bringing you to us again before you find whatever ooze puddle he wallows in this time. Nevertheless, I must find him. A slight warning creeps into Dahl's tone. Do not seek out Farad, Restless One. I am certain it will simply come full circle again, with you none the wiser, and Farad a few coppers richer. Accept death, Restless One. Do not perpetuate your circle of misery. I have to find him. Do you know where he is?
Updated my journal.
Dahl is silent for a moment. When he finally speaks, he seems to do so reluctantly. I do not know under what gutter stone Farad layers at the moment, but I imagine he can be found somewhere beyond the mortuary gates in the hive. Perhaps someone there will know where you can find him. It doesn't sound like you like Farad much. There are some I respect, Restless One. Dahl takes a ragged breath and steadies himself. Farad is not one of them. He wears his ill repute like a badge of honor and takes liberties with the possessions of the dead. He is a knight of the post, cross-trading filth of the lowest sort. A knight of the post? A knight of the post, Dahl coughs. A thief. All Farad brings to our walls come stripped of what little less of their dignity than they possess in life. Farad takes whatever he may pry from their stiffening fingers. Did this Farad take anything from me? Dahl pauses, considering. Most likely. Are you missing something? Especially anything of value? Voice dips as he frowns. Not that Farad would take exception to anything that wasn't physically grafted to your body, and sometimes even that's not enough to give his greedy mind pause. I am missing a journal. A journal! If it was of any value, then it likely lies in Farad's hands. Then I shall seek him out. Farewell, Dahl. A slight warning creeps into Dahl's tone. Do not see— oh, we already said that. I can speak with you no longer. Farewell, Dahl. As you turn to leave, Dahl speaks. Know this, I do not envy you, Restless One. To be reborn as you would be a curse I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point your path will return you here. Dahl coughs, the sound rattling in his throat. It is the way of all things of flesh and bone. Then perhaps we will meet again, Dahl.
Done. I'm gone. All right.
And we're off to the next room.
Done. All right. Done.
Hello, corpse. This huge corpse is standing silently in a corner of the room facing the wall. He's not really, I guess kinda. He looks to have been a heavy-set man in his early years, judging by the condition of his body. He died only recently. The freshly stitched number on his forehead reads 1664. This corpse looks like it is serving as a librarian, for it is carrying a huge stack of books on in its arms. Examine the books. The books appear to be old mortuary ledgers, none of them particularly interesting. As you search through the text, however, you notice a loose page folded between two of the books. You are suddenly struck with the feeling that someone tucked it in there to hide it. I'm going to take the page. The page doesn't look like it belongs with the ledgers. It looks like it belongs in a logbook. The tear is clean, as if with a knife, so you suspect the page was removed on purpose. I'm going to read through it. You take a moment to read through the page. It is a list of dead bodies brought into the mortuary and logged in the receiving room. All the entries appear to be recent arrivals. I'm going to examine the zombie again. And we're going to leave it in peace because it's exactly the same thing. We're going to quickly take a look at the log page. The ragged page looks like it is neatly cut out of a book. It is written in tight, crabbed script. 16/5/37, 5th night, drunk, chest wound, cause of death, mauling, abashi, collector, pox, 3 commons paid, no possessions. Desiccated corpse, cause of death, indeterminable, age of shell prevents identification, collector, Farad, 3 commons paid, no possessions, stripped, knife marks evident from dissection, scarred shell, cause of death, indeterminable, scars do not appear to be cause of death, shock trauma, collector, Farad, 3 commons paid, possessions logged, fist irons, 13 commons, middle table, receiving room. Desiccated corpse 2, cause of death indeterminable, age of shell prevents identification, collector Farad, 3 commons, possessions logged, knife marks evident from dissection, but the dissection was not thorough enough. A copper earring has been found lodged in an abdomen. Earring has been locked in southeast preparation room. Have an initiate from the 3rd circle examine it. It has strange markings like those on contracted worker 79. 5th night, skeleton, cause of death indeterminable, age of shell prevents identification, collector Farad, 3 commons paid, no possessions, stripped, knife marks evident from dissection. As with the previous entries, these shells Farad have brought also show signs of having been prepared. I have asked that Initiate Emmerich launch an investigation into the matter. Furthermore, entry 16542 is one of Farad's gang. I have seen the individual before. I would ask Emmerich to pay heed to how the man died. Which I think was me. Wasn't it? Nope, maybe not. We'll keep going. Tiefling, male, cause of death, slash marks, discoloration of wounds are consistent with grave rot. Ghoul claws? Collector Farad, 3 comments paid, no possessions. Stripped, knife marks evident from dissection. So Farad definitely enjoys his dissecting of bodies and looting them. He's not a very honorable thief.
Alright.
Alright, there is someone we have to talk to. There is someone we have to talk to in here. We're just gonna quickly loot the room though.
Alright.
And then... Nope, not there, nothing. Alrighty then, let's go talk to the zombie first. This heavily stitched zombie is shuffling lazily back and forth between 2 slabs. The number 506 has been stitched on his forehead and the side of its neck and its right arm. In fact, the skin of this peeling corpse has been sewn up with so many stitches, its skin looks like a bizarre street map. I'm going to examine the stitches. The stitches encircle the corpse, running from his arms across his chest, up his neck, and into the damp mass of white hair. As you follow the crossroads of stitches, you notice someone has jammed a needle into the corpse's forehead. The needle is attached to a thread, stitching up the side of the skull. You could probably unravel it if you had something to cut this thread. I'm going to cut the stitches with my scalpel and pull out the needle and thread. You slice the thread neatly with a scalpel, and then pluck out the needle and pull the stitches out. As you do, the skin covering the forehead peels back to reveal the corpse's chalk-white skull, where to your surprise, the number 78 has been chiseled. Seems you got 2 different designations there, corpse. The corpse stares straight ahead, oblivious.
I'm gone.
Let's talk to this one. This corpse, 985, has stopped dead in its tracks. Judging from the condition of its left leg, it looks like some sort of tomb rot or corpse mold has eaten through its knee. The corpse is wobbling unsteadily back and forth, trying to keep its balance. Try and help the corpse balance. You reach out for the corpse's left arm to steady it. As you grab his arm, however, the corpse suddenly sways to the right, and you end up tugging the corpse rather than steadying it. Chief, you might not want... There's a crack from the corpse's left leg, and the body falls like a dead tree. Its torso strikes the stone flagstones and shatters like a rotten melon. Filth and ichor gurgling from the cavity. To your surprise, no one seems to have noticed the corpse's collapse, and even stranger, the left leg remains standing where the body was, as if at attention. After a moment, the leg falls over with a wet thump. As you gaze upon the putrefied remains of the corpse, you notice that its left arm seems intact. It is snapped from the torso during the fall, and does not appear to have been touched by the tomb rot that spread through the rest of the body. I wonder if I could make use of that arm. I did pick up the... Oh, did I pick up the arm? No, I did not. So let's grab the arm. It is a moderately decent weapon. I'll show you in a sec. Actually, I'll show you right now. So it does 1d6 crushing damage versus our scalpel, which is 1d3 piercing. It looks like a mace, but it's not really a mace. Alright, we're going to go talk to... Iveen. You see a slight woman with pale features. The sunken flesh around her cheeks and neck makes her appear as if she is starving. She seems intent on dissecting the corpse in front of her, prodding the chest with a finger. Greetings! The woman does not respond. She seems too intent on the body in front of her. As you watch her work, you suddenly notice her hands. Her fingers are talons. They are darting in and out of the corpse's cavity like knives removing organs. What's wrong with your hands? The woman makes no response. She's a tiefling, chief. They got fiend blood in their veins. Usually some ancestor of theirs shared knickers with one demon or another. Makes some of them addled in the head, and addled looking too. I'm going to leave her alone for the moment. Greetings? I said greetings. She makes no response. I guess we're going to tap her to get her attention. The woman jumps and whips around to face you. Her eyes are a rotting yellow with small orange dots for pupils. As she sees you, her expression changes from surprise to irritation, and she frowns at you. Greetings. She doesn't seem to have heard you. She leans forward, squinting, as if she can't make you out. Whatever is wrong with her eyes must make her terribly nearsighted. You. She clacks her talented fingers together, then makes a strange motion with her hands. Find thread, embalming juice. Bring here to Iveen. Go. Go. Okay.
Updated my journal.
We should probably read our journal, actually, now that I think about it. So, we have a couple of entries to read. Mort mentioned something about the rule of 3. Apparently some people believe that everything tends to happen in 3 and they attach a great meaning to the number. I met a sickly scribe named Dull in the mortuary. He knew I had forgotten myself before I even spoke to him. Did I know him before I lost my memories? I was hoping to get some answers, but this place seems to breed more and more questions. I asked Dull if he knew me, and he responded that he knew little about me and even less about the companions I had traveled with in the past. Apparently their bodies lie in the mortuary. Perhaps seeing them will help my memories to resurface. Dull told me one of the women who journeyed with me is interred on the memorial hall on the first floor of the mortuary. Apparently Farad delivered my body here in a cart along with a heap of other corpses. Was I actually dead when he did this? Dull told me that Farad can be found in the mortuary in some place called the Hive. Beyond the mortuary, in some place called the Hive. He didn't want me to go hunting for Farad, but then again, he's not the one who's lost his memories and woken up from the dead, so he can keep his opinions to himself. Dull suggested I ask some of the people in the Hive where I can find Farad. I met a dust woman embalmer named Iveen in the mortuary, and in addition to her taloned hands and tallow-colored flesh, she was nearsighted and deaf, and mistook me for a zombie. She ordered me to go find her a jar of embalming fluid and some needle and thread, presumably for stitching up the corpses on the table in front of her. There must be some around the mortuary somewhere, perhaps in one of the adjoining rooms. We are going to go and do that.
Done.
Now, there is a zombie here.
Right.
I know we're going to talk to him shortly,
All right.
but first we're going to go to this next room
All right.
and grab some
All
stuff.
right.
So there's some
Done.
embalming
I'm
fluid.
gone.
There's some more embalming fluid. There are stairs up, but we're not going to go upstairs yet.
Done.
Nothing over here. Nothing there. There's no zombies in
I'm
this room
done.
either. Alright,
I'm gone.
so we got the embalming fluids,
All right.
but did we get all the things? I think we did. Oh, no, we missed this. The container is locked, so we're gonna bash it. Can't remember how to bash things. I think I just attack it, right?
Forced it. Done.
There we go. Bash successful. There's a ancient copper earring, which is closed, and some bandages. We will find out how to open the
I'm
earring
gone.
later on. Okay, let's go talk to Iveen, then we'll go talk to this
Done.
dude, and then we'll be pretty much done with this level,
Alright.
actually. So Iveen is first, though. You see Iveen. She is still dissecting the corpse's chest with her talons. The rhythm of the talons reminds you of something, but you can't recall what. Watch her. I'm going to study the motion of her
Updated
hands.
my journal.
As you study the motion of Iveen's hands, you feel it prickling along your scalp, then suddenly you find your vision swimming, blurring, until you are standing in front of a freshly slain corpse, rigor mortis making a mockery of its smile. The number 42 has been stitched onto its scalp. The zombie is lying on a slab, and you have finished stitching up his chest. You have placed something inside, something that may prove useful if you come this way again. Echo says, "Keep these things safe and wait for my return." The memory of your voice is an echo, strange and hollow to your ears. You cross your arms in front of your chest, and to your surprise, the corpse does too. After a moment, its hands fall back to its sides, and as it does, the vision fades, until you are watching Iveen's hands, making their stitching motions once more. We've regained a memory. Memories can give you additional experience points, skills, and may even lead to gaining something else of value later on. Stop her and get her attention. She turns, sees you, then frowns. Dumb zombies. She claps her talented fingers together impatiently, then makes a stitching motion with her fingers. Find thread and embalming fluid. Bring here to Iveen. Go, go. Give her the thread and
Updated
embalming
my journal.
fluid. Without missing a beat, Iveen snaps the thread from your hands and hooks it around one of her talons, then begins sewing up the corpse's chest. She then takes the embalming fluid and begins to apply a layer to the corpse. I'm gonna wait. Within moments, she is finished. She clicks her talons, then turns to face you. To your surprise, she extends her hand and drags her talons along your arms and chest. Keep playing, zombie. Looks like you have a new friend, Chief. You two need some time together, or keep playing, zombie. As she traces your arms and chest, you suddenly notice she seems to be examining your scars. She withdraws her talons, clicks them twice, and then bends forward and examines some of the tattoos on your chest. Who right on you? Hivers do that? No respect for zombies. Zombies, not paintings. She sniffs, then pokes one of your scars. This one, bad shape. Many scars, no precif. I'm going to wait. Her talons suddenly hook into the thread you brought her, and lightning-like she jabs another talon into the skin near one of your scars. It feels barely more than a pinprick, but it looks like she's about to start stitching you up. I'm going to let her work.
Updated my journal.
The sensation is curiously painless as Iveen begins to stitch up your scars. When she is done, she sniffs you, frowns, then dabs her fingers with the embalming fluid. Within minutes, she has dabbed your body with the fluid, and strangely enough, it makes you feel better. I'm gonna let her work. This may be the second time in my life I'm thankful I don't have a nose. Iveen puts the last touches on your body, gives you another sniff, nods, makes a shooing motion with her talons. Done. Go, go. So we are leaving. We got 1 extra hit points for that. We are now at 21 HP. Not too bad. And we're almost done with the this level. So let's go talk to this zombie.
I'm gone.
Now this zombie has a couple things we can do. I do want to check my keyboard mappings because there is a quick save button, which is Q. That's all I wanted to know. Let's talk to him. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. The number 821 is carved into his forehead, and his lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. So, seen anything going on? As you address the zombie, it blinks in surprise. What? You're not a zombie. Who are you?
Updated my journal.
The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. He has a peculiar, half-frightened, half-angry expression. Who are you? What do you want? I'm looking for a way out of here. Can you help me? The zombie doesn't seem to have heard you. He looks you up and down for a few moments, then frowns. What you do here? His eyes narrow suspiciously. You trying to dust this? No, I'm trying to escape. Why don't you tell me what you're doing here before I call the guards? There must be something in your eye that makes the zombie's expression crumble. No, don't call guards. He looks frightened. Respond to Dusty, nothing more. I'm trying to make it sound like I have stitched lips. Spy? For who? The zombie falls into a frightened silence. He seems unwilling to say more. Come on, who are you watching this place for? Hold on. Mort sounds surprised. This Burke must be an anarchist. Posing a zombie's got to be the first for those addled sods. Anarchists?
Updated my journal.
Anarchists, they're a faction that wastes their time peeping in on authority figures and looking for ways to tear down anything that stinks of order or control. The anarchists think everything across the plains will be free and happy to seek out their own truth once the establishment is burned to the ground. They want to establish a new order. No order at all. Truth. That doesn't seem constructive to any. No, we want to be chaos. That seems like a noble pursuit. Order could use a good tearing down once in a while. The zombie is watching you both fearfully. He is still silent, but something on his expression tells you Mort's guess was right on the mark. The anarchists, huh? That who you're watching this place for? To your surprise, the zombie turns away from you. He is starting to glance around fearfully. Never mind, then. What else have you seen the dustmen do? Nothing. I don't do nothing. Can't find nothing. Dead, just dead people. Dusters do nothing. Eyes narrow in conviction. Sure, washed. I see. There's something else I wanted to ask you. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen it? Do you know some Berfilia? What? He wants to know if somebody robbed you. Probably what happened. I see. There was something else actually, yes. I'm looking forward to finding this thief. Look, I may have some questions later. No, I don't want to go yet. There's something else I wanted to know. How did you get to look like that? We're good at the scars. Also good scars. We were also very food. We were good zombie. The zombie giggles through stitched lips, and then taps his head. Yeah, they're the stupid ones, alright. The sarcasm is evidently lost on the zombie, who nods eagerly. Good zombie. Doesn't that... Oh wait, that disguise is pretty good. Can you disguise me as a zombie? He looks you up and down for a few moments, mumbling to himself, then nods. You jar of embalming fluid? Puts the scars on your chest. Some neon thread. Some embalming fluid and some thread. Now think about it. Other questions? Let's see. How can I escape from here? The zombie grunts. You're going straight through portals. He waves his hands. Phew. Portals. What portals? Portals. The zombie waves around the area. Portals everywhere. Can you show me one of these portals? He is silent for a moment, then nods silently as if in understanding. Where should I help you? Because maybe I need your help. Because I need your help. The zombie gives a half sneer. Give some help. What is it you need? I need to get a key for my iron key on Brown's room. Alright, where's the key? A dusty shirt has it. Shears yours. He makes a motion with his fingers that reminds you of a pair of cutting shears. Blades on fingers. A dustman woman with yellow eyes and blades on her fingers. I already met her in the embalming room. Hold on, I'll be right back with the key shortly.
My journal.
The zombie squints at you. If you're caught, don't say nothing about me. I'll get you to sleep. I'll get you your damn key, but you best watch your threats. You hear me? Yeah, that's right. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention in my very first video. This game, you do not choose your alignment. Your alignment is based on what you do in the game.
Alright.
I'm gonna go try for chaotic good, but we'll see how it ends up in the end of the game. So we're gonna talk to Iveen. We're gonna tap her again. Wait a minute, you make the... Oh, sorry. She turns to see you, then frowns. Dumb zombies. She clacks her talented finger together and patiently makes a stitching motion with her fingers. You done? I'll stitch up. Go, 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 go. Wait a minute. You make the motion of a key, turning with your hand. I need an embalming key. Do you have one? She leans forward, looks at your hand, motions, then sniffs. Her hands dart into her robe, then emerges. A key hanging from her wickedly sharp index finger. She flicks it into your hand. Bring back when done. Go, go.
Updated
Okay, bye.
my journal.
Thank you for the key. So we got the key for this dude. Let's give it to him. Where'd he go? Hey,
Alright.
don't wander
I'm
off.
gone.
You see the false zombie. You're amazed at the man's disguise. His breathing is so subdued you can barely see it. Greetings. The zombie glances around to see if anyone else is watching, then turns to face you. Here's the embalming room key you wanted. The zombie's eyes widen and he snatches the key from your hand. He turns it over, nodding all the while. Good, good. Now how do I get out of here?
Updated my journal.
The zombie grunts. You're gonna escape to the portals. He goes, poof. Portals? What portals? Portals. The zombie waves around the area. Portals everywhere. Can you show me one of the portals? The zombie nods. You wanna go to the arch on the first floor, northwest, your finger bone shape of a crook. He holds his hand, or he holds up his index finger and bends it into a crook. When you're a creek in the arch, down to Sugar Crypt, you're gonna escape from there. Sugar escape route. He nods eagerly. Rest there. Crooked finger bone. Where am I gonna find one of those?
Updated my journal.
He shrugs. Must be one around here somewhere. Look at the storage room on the upper floor. Maybe there. Alright, I have some other cool... No, that's it. Very well, I'll check the upstairs for this crooked finger bone, then head to the first floor to one of the arches in the northwest room. Got it.
Done.
That is the
Alright.
end of the first floor of the mortuary. As you can see,
Alright.
this video was pretty long.
Alright.
Some of them will be
Done.
shorter,
I'm
some of
gone.
them will probably be even
Done.
longer. In the next video, we will head up to the next floor of the the mortuary. So, like always, if you guys have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.